no, looks like Michael Moore has had some backlash. So he actually made a podcast about the whole Elizabeth Warren Bernie Sanders saga, and he went in on Elizabeth Warren, went through all of the lies that Elizabeth Warren has said in her career, detailed them, and he sent out a tweet saying, Elizabeth and Bernie have appeared in my films. I love them both. Why Elizabeth chose to stick a knife in Bernie's back is beyond me. At a time when job number one is to remove Trump, how did this help? My new Rumble podcast, The Sad Downfall of Elizabeth Warren. Now, as you guys will be aware, Michael Moore is a real progressive, no doubt. Like, he's a Bernie guy, so he's obviously a real progressive. But he does some weird stuff from time to time. And due to his anti-Trump stuff, he has garnered a big following that's full of, the resistance folks. And so anytime someone who has a following like that sends out something like this, you can immediately expect a ton of backlash. So let's check out some of these comments. This one says, he turned negative on her. He went back on a deal they had. Sanders is a bad person. So the claim here is that essentially there's conflicting reports coming out as to whether or not that, document was actually campaign source. There's conflicting claims going on there. But let's even concede that, right? Even if we concede that's true, the crazy thing that he went back on was saying that Elizabeth Warren's voters are more educated and more affluent, which is fact based on statistics and numbers. So how is that an attack or anything like that? It's absolutely hilarious. Bernie Sanders is a bad person, assuming that it even came from Bernie Sanders himself, which obviously it didn't. Of these two, I believe Warren before Sanders. It's obvious that he said something in one of their discussions a few years ago aiming to maybe discourage her from running. He might even have believed it to be true, which isn't the same as wanting it to be true. Now he lies. So again, just a complete insanity. Believe women unless they say something negative about Bernie. When did believing women believe literally anything that a woman says and not believe them in times when they're basically claiming sexual assault, etc., etc.? When did it become that? Now every single thing that comes out of a woman's mouth, you have to believe every single thing they say because it's correct. Absolutely fucking hilarious. This one says he knifed her and then she knifed him, but her knife was bigger. Hard to see how she's the bad guy. This one says, I'm embarrassed for you. This account, of course, is very embarrassing. The quote, Bernie is the only person who can beat Trump crew crying in their cornflakes. Scornflakes that Liz beat Bernie. Makes so much sense. Go take a bath. Amy Siskind, who, if you guys don't know, was actually a Republican, worked on Wall Street, and she says, Mike, I hope you will consider retracting this in a tweet. Marginalized communities cannot survive another 4 years of this tyrant, let alone it being the death knell of our democracy. We have to unite behind our nominee like never before. Please consider. Bernie called her a liar during the debate. Dude, if telling the truth means that someone is calling the other person a liar, then it is what it is. He never even said straight up like, no, Elizabeth Warren is a liar. No, he just told the truth, which is hilarious to say that. It's like someone says a lie, you tell the truth, but then you're the one calling her a liar. Like, yeah, because she lied. She made it up. That's why, dude. Just crazy stuff. This one says, you are delusional. Right back at you, of course. Thanks for reinforcing stereotypes about women that hurt us our entire lives. What? What does this even mean? Stop promoting division within the Democratic Party as Elizabeth Warren claims that Bernie Sanders said something, said that a woman couldn't win in 2020, which obviously the implication is that he's sexist. Michael Moore making money off trashing the number one progressive senator is so on brand for these cultists. Structural misogyny. Like, this is insanity, dude. Come on now. Trashing the number one progressive senator. What, did Bernie Sanders die or something? I mean, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. These tweets are absolutely insane. These are absolutely insane. Complete insanity. And so anytime you have an audience like this, where it's, you're going to have a ton of resistance anti-Trumpers who are also the same anti-burners, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a bunch of people who get really angry at you when you talk about Bernie Sanders. And I just find this to be absolutely hilarious. We saw this happen with Bill Maher, and all Bill Maher did literally all Bill Maher did was make a joke about how he just compared like Bernie to being a cool grandpa who like gives you stuff, and then Biden's like the weirdo grandpa, and they went off on him. So it's like it doesn't really take much. I feel like this is almost a series at this point. Um, Hillary and Obama's communications director, Jennifer Palmieri, congratulated Bernie Sanders for being #1 in the Des Moines Register poll, and her fans absolutely lost it. Her followers absolutely lost it. So this happens so often now that it's so consistent. But there's a lot of these people who love using their little tweeter app, and it's very cringe.